Sunday, which is an all-day women's only event. So do share the juicy details of that.
Well, Sunday is the one day that there will be some nudity involved, and you don't have to get undressed, but there is going to be a live demo and in the afternoon that will include some nudity, and then people are at choice, well, the women are at choice as to the level of undress that they want to go to as they work with each other. But what the idea of the Dakini Circle, again, this started 3 years ago. I did this in Toronto, and it's an incredible space that we spend the first 2.5 hours of dropping competition and comparison and being able to be ultra vulnerable with each other as women, because so often in our life, then, well, at least for me, then I felt like this isn't my species. Like, what am I doing here? Because I did not feel at all like there was no, I don't like playing games. And I would just be so direct, and like all the women in my life just felt so different from me. And so this has been so healing for me in general, and like all the women that I've come across, of us being able to go from, oh, there's all these stories and things that are up, to, wow, who is this beautiful person across from me? And so by the end of the event, then everyone's just in total and utter joy. And you realize the idea of competition or comparison is just ludicrous, because we're so unique. And it's so beautiful to just be able to celebrate wherever we're at. So that's the first 2.5 hours, where we do that through speaking and through a silent puja, where we get to see each other without words, and through some tools and some fun exercises that we really drop in with one another. And then I get to walk the ladies through road mapping of our yoni, of our pussy. Like, yoni is a tantric word for that area of our body. And so often, any type of trauma, whether it's sexual, physical, emotional, that's our softest tissues. And so that's where the memories go to. And so this is a way of being able to do clocking or road mapping through the yoni, through hands-on work, that's so beautiful if we can do that as woman to woman. Stuff that we've had stored in there for much of our life, so that then we open up all of these different pathways of pleasure and connection. And so I have a beautiful full color copy, and showing people how you can use sound, breath, and movement to be able to move those blocked energies in our bodies. After the demo, then we have a little bit of time where the women get to work on one another to the level that they want to, and that can look like observing. And I had, again, that first Dakini Circle I had in Toronto, I had one woman that had not been touched in over 13 years. Like, she'd had really, really strong sexual trauma, and she just sat up on the couch with me and had me hold her heart and her yoni while she watched the women work on each other, and she just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed, and like released all of this stored stuff just by watching. And now 3 years later, then she has a fiance, like all these things shifted and changed in her life, and she didn't get undressed. Like, she just sat there and had the experience. And so for some people that it might look like that. For other women, then they're like, oh, yes, I can't wait to jump in. And so they pick partners and pair off and take their pants off and are able to work with one another. And for some people, it's the receiving that's really, really on the edge. And for other people, it's actually giving. And it's like, ooh, can I really touch another woman this way? And what does that mean about me? And at the end, again, whichever or however you decide to do the hands-on experience together, everyone just feels so close and so just cheerleading one another, and it's changing the dynamic. Every single time I've done a Dakini Circle, the dynamic changes from that competition or comparison or any stories that we've told ourselves about each other to just love and joy, and I'm so here for you, sister. Then we'll invite the men to come and honor the women after they've been blown open and had this vulnerable experience, and so then they get to be adored with roses and with adoration. We're going to have some fun stuff to have the women be adored.
We may have just the music. It depends. So, but we will have some fun as the men parade in to, I don't know, welcome us more deeply into our femininity.